Hello there, welcome to this lecture. It's time to talk about Bayes theorem. But before we actually take a deeper dive in Bayes theorem, let's review basics of probability, and this will help you refresh your knowledge of probability, and after that we will extend the same problem to Bayes theorem. Let's begin. Let's consider you have two boxes. Box 1 with two kind of balls, 9 red balls and 5 blue balls. And then box 2 with again two kind of balls, 4 red ball and 11 blue balls. So far so good. Now you are picking a ball. You don't know from which box. You just picked a ball. And now you have to find the probability that you picked that ball from box 1. And then what is the probability of you picking a blue ball from box 1? Likewise, what is the probability of you picking a red ball from box 2? Or what is the probability of you picking a blue ball from box 2? So these are 4 options which could have happened. You might have picked a red ball from box 1 or blue ball from box 1, or red ball from box 2 or blue ball from box 2. And we are going to find the probability of each of these in a very simple method. So let's begin. First, we have two events. Event 1, we can pick from this box, or event 2, we can pick from the second box. So two possible events. You can either pick from this box or from this box. Only 2 boxes are there. So possibility of you picking the ball from box 1 is 1 by 2, because there are only 2 events possible. There are only 2 boxes. So total number of combinations possible is 2. Out of that, if you pick from box 1, the probability of that happening is 1 by 2. Likewise, probability of picking from box 2 is 1 by 2. Let's move on. What is the probability of picking red ball from box 1? There are 9 red balls and there are 14 total number of balls. So probability of you picking red ball from box 1 is 9 by 14. Likewise, probability of you picking blue ball from box 1 is 5 by 14. Likewise, probability of picking red ball from box 2 is 4 by 15. Total number of balls is 15. Red ball 4, so 4 by 15. And probability of picking blue ball from box 2 is 11 by 15. So far, so good. Now let's start calculating these probabilities. Start with the first one. Probability of picking a red ball from box 1. So that would be PE1 multiplied by PRE1. PRE1 is you are picking red ball considering the first box, considering the first event happened. So it is called PR considering E1 happened. And that is, if you multiply PE1 and PR condition E1 happened, that will give you the probability of picking red ball from box 1. So that would be 1 by 2 multiplied by 9 by 14. That would be 9 by 28, 32% probability. What is probability of you picking the blue ball from box 1? Again, 1 by 2 into 5 by 14, 5 by 28, 18%, about 18%. Same way, probability of picking a red ball from box 2, 1 by 2 into 4 by 15, 4 by 30, 13% probability. And probability of picking a blue ball from box 2. So 1 by 2 into 11 by 15, 37%. So this answers the question behind each probability. Now you can calculate any kind of possible probability. So when you pick a ball, you know what are the probabilities of picking a red ball or blue ball from either of the boxes. So who has maximum probability? Maximum probability is that this 37%. That means the maximum probability is you will end up picking a blue ball from box 2. That's a maximum probability. If I have to wager money on this, then I will put my money on this one because this one has a higher chances of happening, 37%. So that's a basic background of probability, how the probability works. Okay, what is total probability of you picking a red ball? Total probability. So this was the probability of picking red ball from box 1 and this was probability of picking red ball from box 2. So total probability of picking red ball is 0.32 plus 0.13, 0.45. And remember, these are mutually exclusive events. That means you cannot put your hand in both the boxes together. And there are two boxes. So when you put your hand at a time, you can put your hand only in one box, right? So second event is not dependent on the first event. They are mutually exclusive event. So that's why if you have to calculate what is the total probability of you picking a red ball from either boxes, that would be 0.45. That would be total of this plus this. Likewise, total probability of you picking a blue ball will be 0.18 plus 0.37, 0.55. And here comes the best part. The part we were all waiting for. Consider this. Same, you have box 1 and box 2. Same number of red balls and blue balls. Exactly same situation. But the question is different. The question is, you picked a red ball. And what is the probability that this red ball is from second bag? This is an interesting situation. You already got a red ball. You just have to find out the probability of that red ball being from box 2. And that kind of probability is called probability of E2, the event 2, considering it's a red ball. So the red ball that is already considered. A red ball is already considered. You already have a red ball. Now you have to find out the probability of that red ball being from box 2. So let's see what we have done in previous problem. So in previous problem, we found out different kind of probabilities, right? Probability of, if I pick a ball, probability of that being from box 1, box 2, and probability of that being red from box 1, blue from box 1, or red from box 2 and blue from box 2, and what is total probability of that being red versus blue. Now here we have to find out the probability of that ball being, that red ball being from second box, and that kind of probability is calculated using Bayes theorem. Bayes theorem says that P of E2R is equal to P of E2, probability of E2, and probability of R considering E2 by total probability of R. And you have already calculated these values. Probability of E2 is 1 by 2. Probability of R, that probability of picking red ball from second box, was 4 by 15. And total probability of picking red ball from either of the boxes was 45%, right? And that's how, if you calculate, it will come down to 4 by 13.5, so 30%. So answer to this question, that if you have a red ball, the probability of that ball being from box 2 is 30%. And that kind of question is answered using Bayes theorem. So this is basic of Bayes theorem.